Today, the stage is set as the best players from across the region prepare to showcase their talents in the nation's oldest high school all-star game. Electrifying runs, aerial shows, hard-hitting defenses, with the support of a spirited student section. It's what high school football is all about. The rosters are set, the head coaches are ready to reveal their teams. Whose name will be called? The 87th Shrine Bowl of the Carolina Selection Show starts now.
Hey there, everyone, and welcome inside the Bahakel Sports studio. I am Bahakel Sports Director Jeff Taylor, and this is the Shrine Bowl Selection Show for the 87th playing of this historic bowl game. Now, the game airs December 16th on WCCB's MeTV Charlotte with a pregame show starting at 12:30. The game starts at 1 o'clock. Advanced tickets go on sale after 5 p.m. today. You can buy those tickets at shrinebowlofthecarolinas.com. Make sure you get there and get your tickets. Now, it's going to be a good one, and over the next few minutes, we are going to announce the high school players who will represent both North Carolina and South Carolina in this game. And to help us break the selections down, I am joined by Darren Vaught, play-by-play analyst for Bahakel Sports, and the two head coaches, Mr. Wayne Farmer, the South Carolina head coach, and Mr. Johnny Sal, the North Carolina head coach. Guys, thanks for your time.
Thank you.
So for those of you out there who may not know a lot about the Shrine Bowl of the Carolinas, I can tell you it's the oldest Shrine Bowl game in the nation, with the best high school players from the Carolinas being handpicked to play on both of these teams. Now, the first game was played on December 4th, 1937. So, coaches, how excited are you to be a part of this game so rich in history? Coach Sal, we'll start with you.
Well, it's an honor. It's my second time getting this great opportunity, and I'm looking forward to it.
Coach?
I'm extremely excited, humble, and appreciative, to be representing my state in this historic game. I'm really proud. Thank you.
So, Jeff, you sort of set the table for the illustrious and rich history of this game. Let's talk about the process, coaches. The evaluation process, that fascinates me, how that comes to be and how you guys ultimately select the players in this fashion and invite them to play for your teams. Coach Sal, we'll start with you.
Definitely a lot of work does come into it. Once you build your staff, you meet and you decide on what our vision is, what we're trying to get done, offensively and defensively, and then it becomes a lot of nights of evaluating kids. We also do combines. We also go to different combines. And then at the end of the process, we have what we call the last combine. We did it in Greensboro with about 80 plus to 90 kids and great athletes. You're talking about 85 to 90 kids, and you got to come away with 44. And that's a tough process because all those kids there were great kids, great athletes, good people.
Yeah. Coach Farmer, what about from your perspective?
Ever since we got the word that I got the head coach and then some of my staff, which I have a really good staff, we held 4 combines across the state during the spring, and we sent out to all coaches in South Carolina to send film and nominate their players, and through the combines, we ended up having one final combine in July, where we brought in about 110 players, invite only. With the first one with the combine, it was, more combine-related drills, but the one we brought in for the showcase was more position-specific, and that was helping us evaluate the players and narrow it down.
It is a tough process. So let me ask you, there were so many great high school players in the Carolinas. I'm guessing choosing players for a game like this has to be tough. So what do you look for in players? Coach Sal?
You want to look for, number one, good people. And you're going to look for speed, you're going to look for size, and you're going to look for kids that understands. And a lot of these kids, unfortunately, come from great programs. So you put that together, and you and your staff, and you try to come up with the best kids you can. Once again, somebody's going to be left out. That's not to mean that they're not great kids or great athletes. You just got to narrow the process down.
For us, we're looking for the most talented and skilled position at each position, the technician. It was hard, and our biggest thing was high character individuals also. That's important. But we try to find the best kids at each position that fit our scheme. And just like Coach Sauer said, there's some really deserving players that's not going to make this team. Really deserving, and that's the unfortunate part of it. But I thought my staff did a great job. I thought we didn't cheat any kid. We watched every film that was sent, evaluated the players, and we've been doing this since maybe February.
Wow.
Yeah. Second time around for both of you, I know you mentioned, so you get the team together the week before the game down in Spartanburg. What is that week like? And once you're there, what are you trying to accomplish, Coach Sal?
Well, the biggest thing is you want to meet with them. We normally meet with them that Sunday and tell them the importance of it, congratulate them, tell them the importance of it, but give them some history of the Shrine Bowl, understanding why you're there. You're there to play that game, but when you get the opportunity to go to that hospital, that's amazing. It's amazing.
Coach?
Pretty much what Coach Sal said. The biggest thing with that is that you're getting kids from different high schools, different classifications, different egos, and they have to learn to make one common goal for that week. And you want also, it's a very honor to play in this game. You know, only 4 to 4 selected across the state, something to remember for the rest of their lives. And we're trying to reach one common group, get one language and terminology for that week, because we're going to be playing against a very talented North Carolina team. Also will be well coached. So, you know, we're trying to be victorious on that Saturday, you know, playing against a great team.
So you bring all these kids together, and with a week of practice, these kids never played together maybe. How does that change up your coaching style at all for that week, or does it?
It doesn't. I mean, it's basic football. Yeah. You know, you have a week to get it in. If you look at my playbook, it's probably that big, but that playbook now is right there. I got great coaches, and when we took them into camp, that final combine, it was a playbook offensively that was well, and the defense scheme was well as well. So we feel good about that.
Coach, your style, does it change up any?
No, my style definitely won't change. Only thing may change is certain mannerisms as far as different individuals, because, you know, you only get a week, so you're not going to know their personality. How do they take something with your tone? So the biggest thing, I'm going to still be the same ball coach, do what I do, and we're going to coach. We picked these 4 to 4 for a reason, to put them together for a short week to accomplish one main goal.
Cool. Now, by the way, the players whose names are called today, be on the lookout for your official phone call from the Shrine Bowl officials later this week. Now, as we mentioned earlier in the show, the first game was played with a goal of raising money for the Shriners Children's Hospital in Greenville, South Carolina. Shriners Children's is devoted to providing high-quality specialty medical care to children and families regardless of their ability to pay or insurance status. During the week leading up to the game, both teams take some time to visit the hospital and the kids that are there. It's a great thing. And with all the profits, the game is sent to the hospital, making this historic bowl game more than just a game. Hey, we're just getting started. Coming up next, it is selection time as we reveal the offensive side of the ball for both teams and get the coach's reaction. But before we go, we'd like to thank our local sponsor, Scott Clark Toyota, for supporting our selection show. Stick around, a lot more coming at you. We'll be right back.
Inside the NFL has arrived on the CW.
Let's go!
The show the pros watch.
The pass rush is what we want.
Is now for everyone.
Let's go!
Inside the NFL. Tuesday at 8 on WCCB Charlotte. Inside the NFL is brought to you locally in part by Queen City Audio, Video, and Appliances, your outdoor kitchen and tailgate headquarters.
Hey everyone, welcome back inside the Bahakel Sports studio. I am Bahakel Sports Director Jeff Taylor alongside Bahakel Sports Darren Vaught, who you can catch every Friday night for our game of the week. We also have in studio the coaches for this year's Shrine Bowl of the Carolinas, Johnny Sal of North Carolina, Wayne Farmer, South Carolina. So if everyone's ready, let's get started by revealing the high school players that will take part in this game on December the 16th. And Coach Sal, we start with you and take a look at your quarterbacks.
Tyler Burge, Evan Meadows.
Coach, these are a couple of quarterbacks we've had the pleasure of seeing so far this season on our Bahakel Sports Game of the Week. What do you like about your quarterback room?
A combination of things. Combination of speed, got size, and then you also have Evan, where he's a dual threat guy, got a great arm, can do both.
All right, Coach Farmer, now it's your turn. Let us know who the signal callers are for the South Carolina side of the ball.
Javon Martin and Matthew Wilson. Both of these guys are dual threat quarterbacks. Great. Javon has a great leadership. I think guys will follow him. He spins the ball really well. Matthew also does a good job ad-libbing and reading. I think we did a great job picking these two quarterbacks.
Cool.
All right, well, they got to hand it off to somebody. We'll stick with the offenses. Let's go to the running backs for North Carolina to start. Coach Sal.
Tyler Mason, Corbin Kerr, Colton Adams, Nick Segarra. Nick is also an H-back as well.
Coach, you see those four. What stands out? What impresses you about those four?
Well, you got speed, you got size. Definitely got size in Nick. Speed and guys that can carry that ball.
Now we turn to the South Carolina running backs. Coach, who do you have in the backfield?
I have Trevion Dunbar, Deshaun Reeder, and Hannibal Turbo Richard.
Love that nickname, by the way.
Yeah, so I think we can guess speed for at least one of these guys. What do you like about your backfield?
All of them, they resemble a lot of these. All of them have power, but they block very well also. That was the biggest thing. And they catch the ball out the backfield well. They're strong. They can run past someone. They can run through someone. And so I'm excited to be able to coach these guys.
Yep. Now let's think about a little bit more of the offensive side of the ball. Let's reveal the receiver group. And once again, we go with North Carolina and Coach Sal. Let's talk about your receivers and who they are.
Jonathan Taylor, Javarius Green, Ross Smith, Josiah McLaurin, Truett Manuel, Mike Carlock, Isaiah Bridges.
When you look at those, talk to me about your wideouts. Sometimes you got to have speed and hands. I'm assuming they all have both.
Yes. Definitely speed. You got height as well, and you got guys that can get in and get out of routes.
All right, Coach Farmer, let's move on to South Carolina. Who's going to be representing your squad as receivers?
We got some real talented receivers. We have Christian Zachary, Yannick Smith, Jamal Boston, Braylon Staley, William Young, Avery McFadden, Bryce Rothwell, Hassan Lee. Bryce Rothwell and Hassan Lee are our H-backs, but they all can also split out also in a slot position.
What do you like generally about this group? I mean, it's kind of hard to spread the wealth with so many.
Well, the speed for sure. Some of them are long. Some of them are going to be true slot guys, can run good routes and stuff. So we did a combination as far as length, speed, and a combination of as far as with the route running.
Exactly. Now, if you're a football fan, you know that an offense cannot move if you don't have the big guys up front blocking. So we are turning attention now to the offensive line for North Carolina. Coach, who are your big boys up front?
Janiyah Norwood, Desmond Jackson, Jason Smith, Tyler West, Trent Mitchell, Thomas Wilson, Kai Gear, Darius McDougal, Kennard Mangum.
And when you talk about these guys, obviously we mentioned big, but we talked a little bit earlier before the show. Got some speed also.
Yes. Very excited about these guys. At the Combine, I spent a lot of time watching those guys, just big guys, understand what they have to do on the offensive line.
All right, now for the offensive line for South Carolina, Coach, who will you have up front?
Cam Pringle, Josiah Thompson, Blake France, Julius Tate, Watson Young, Slayton Stokes, Brady Pickett, and Jake Beard.
Safe to say, big and strong. Is there anything else to it?
They're massive, but the technicians do a great job of run and block. They understand the game, very skillful, very for their size, can move their feet, understand, as far as the run and pass skills.
All right, so we talk about the offensive side of the ball, and last but not least, let's reveal the kicker. Coach Sal, who do you have?
Nolan Huser.
And when we talk about Nolan, he did something pretty special, breaking the all-time record in terms of field goals kicked for high school kids in the nation in 57. Gotta have some confidence in that kid.
That's awesome. A kid that can get the ball in the end zone.
Right, exactly.
Coach Farmer, I know you've got another big, strong leg. Who's your kicker for South Carolina?
It's Coleman Franzone.
And what do you like specifically about him? I know he does both kick and punt, right?
Yes, he does. He's one of the best punters in the country, but also he can put the ball in the back of the end zone. We don't want North Carolina returning it.
All right, so there's the offensive side of the ball. We heard from the coaches and got their thoughts. Darren Vaught, when you look at these teams, what stands out when we think about the players that are selected?
Well, I think anytime you're seeing these selections pan out for an All-Star game, a Shrine Bowl game of this magnitude, talent is a given, right? I mean, I think both coaches can agree to that. It's why you both mentioned character as one of the driving points early, right? Because talent-wise, you might have a lot of ties. You're going to have to break those ties, I think. So to me, it's really cool that at this point in their high school careers, these players are committing to this honor. and intending to play in this game? Because a lot of them, they're already committed to wherever they're going to go and exceed at the next level. So it's a pride thing. It's about the honor that is playing in the Shrine Bowl of the Carolinas.
It is definitely a great honor playing it. So the offensive side of the ball is set for both teams. Don't go anywhere. Coming up next, we'll reveal the defensive side of the ball and get the coach's reaction along with Darren Vaught. More of the Shrine Bowl selection show straight ahead. Stay tuned.
It's been a winning season, and Bahakel Sports wants to thank you for making us your home for high school sports. Haven't checked us out yet? Scan here for all the action. The local schools you know, top matchups streaming live, full game replays on demand. And best of all, it's free. Get it. Got it? Good. You can't go back to high school, but it's the next best thing. See why Bahakel Sports is your home for high school sports.
WCCB News Rising. It's good company. Food, fitness, fun, and of course the weather, traffic, and headlines you need to start your day. There's so much more on Rising. Weekday mornings on WCCB, Charlotte's CW.
Hey there, everyone. Welcome back to our Shrine Bowl Selection Show. My name is Jeff Taylor. I'm the sports director here at Bahakel Sports. Thanks for joining us as we reveal what high school players will take part in the 87th Shrine Bowl game of the Carolinas. I'm joined by Darren Vaught, who does our play-by-play for our Friday night game of the week for Bahakel Sports, and the two head coaches for this historic game on December 16th, North Carolina head coach Johnny Sal, South Carolina head coach Wayne Farmer. Now, in the last segment, we revealed the offensive side of the ball. Now it's time for the D.
And to get us started, Jeff, we're going to go to Coach Sal and reveal the defensive lineman for the North Carolina team. Coach, who you got?
Namadi Abagoka, Henry Hicks, DJ Bryant, Keenan Hatchett, Chris Kinsley, Mason Brooks, Debo White.
All right, Coach, talk about our defensive line here. What stands out with your defensive linemen?
Size and speed. Couple young men inside that can get there, get to the ball real quick, defensive ends, that's long, that understands the importance of contain and what they have to do.
Coach, the D-line is important. Tell us who your defensive linemen are.
Okay. Jaden Fuller, Jordan Boyd, Marcus Downs, Shakai Thompson, Jarrell Jeffries, Lorenzo McFadden Presley.
And Coach, what impresses you about these guys in this group specifically?
Power, length. We got some guys I think can be really good run stoppers inside. We got some guys that can bend outside, maybe redirect, present some problems with the pass. And so I thought we did a great job selecting these guys. They got a combination of everything with run and pass.
Cool. Okay, let's turn from the defensive line to the linebackers for each team. Coach Sal, let's take a look at your linebackers for the Shrine Bowl and the North Carolina side.
Ryan Ziegler, Brendan Guess, Paul Waterman, Billy Wilkes, Derek Dandy, Jaden Bassett, Curtis Simpson, Jamarcus Smith.
So you see those names. I know for linebackers, it's a lot about speed and being able to make those tackles. What impresses you about these linebackers?
Just ability to understand the game, that loves getting to the ball, love to make tackles, and also understanding that if it's a passing situation, get into my area, the hook curl area, those kind of things.
Yeah. For South Carolina, Coach Farmer, we move to you and take a look at your linebacking core.
We have Tamir Hickman Collins, Jamar Stevens, Terry Grant, Amari Jackson, Kevin Hunter, Tony Hopkins, Caleb Streets, and Jaden Kimball.
And what stands out for this unit?
We got some run stoppers. I think guys can get a quick read and go where they need to go, north or south. We got some guys on the outside that can come up, contain, force, make tackles, also play in space. And maybe have to cover some 3s and 2s slots out there in space.
All right, final group on the defensive side of the ball is the defensive backs. Coach Sal, let's take a look at your defensive backfield and tell us who the players are.
Landon Callahan, Deuce Walker, Trey Mittman, Ben Black, Flip Harris, Zachary Mitchell.
And Coach, this excites me as a defensive back group. What excites you about him?
You got guys that 6'2", 6'3", that can move around like athletes should be able to do. Guys that can cover, guys can come down the hill and hit. So you put that combination there, it's a pretty solid defensive back.
Yeah.
Group.
Coach Farmer, how about you over on the South Carolina side, your defensive backs?
I have Zay Johnson, Troy Stevenson, Zatwan Nelson, Jordan Bennett, Tyler Jones, Adrian Hall, Demario Bookhart, and Quayshee Scott.
I know a couple of those names. That's a pretty stout group. Talk to me about your defensive backfield.
The biggest thing with DBs, we're looking for guys who are very skilled at the position, able to play with the back, play the ball with the back to the ball, and also be able to come up and make some hits. With our DBs, we don't want to be scared when the ball is there because that's what we want. We're very confident individuals, be able to play the coverage, maybe have to play man-to-man, so that's what we're looking for. Some very confident, talented, skilled guys.
So the teams are set. So stick around. We have one more segment for you. When we come back, we'll get everyone's final thoughts on their roster for the 87th Shrine Bowl of the Carolinas.
Touchdown! A remarkable run by this high school.
She drives to the bucket and lays it in. This Cinderella High School team takes score! That's a hat trick for the high school sensation.
I've not seen high school play like this in
Keep your eye on the ball and check out the 704 High School Highlight Podcast. It's on YouTube and wherever you download your podcast.
Sometimes you need solutions.
Good news. Inspiration.
A Charlotte couple turned tragedy into triumph. They recently opened the first ever Black-owned soul food restaurant inside a Walmart store.
Alicia Brown's nonprofit offers legal services and delivers nutritious meals to seniors in need.
18-year-old Anaya Richardson taught herself enough instruments to be a one-woman band. She got more than $2 million in scholarships.
This
is just
what you need.
Hey there, everyone. Welcome back. So the rosters have been set for the 87th Shrine Bowl of the Carolinas. It's time to get everyone's last thought about the two teams. Coaches, you take a look at your teams. How excited are you? And I'm going to start with Coach Farmer first.
I'm really excited just for the historic of the game, why the Shrine Bowl is there. I'm very proud and humbled to be selected as far as, I've been to the hospital. I see what the great job that you do as far as raising money. And also, I'm going to get to coach some of the best players in the state of South Carolina that I've never met. I'll get to impact them, maybe impact me, but just for what this game is about, the history and what it's about, great cause. Just excited and thankful and appreciative for doing it.
Cool. Coach?
Number one, I want to thank you for giving me the opportunity to do this again. I want to thank my assistant coaches that did a lot of hard work in between their time and coaching the high school ball too as well. The Shrine Bowl opportunity is great. Coach mentioned it. When you get opportunity to go to that hospital and understand the purpose of the game and what you're trying to do, raising that money for those kids, it's awesome.
Cool. Darren, you're going to be on the call. What do you think, and what are fans going to see in this game?
Well, I think it can't be understated, the history and tradition of this game. I mean, you mentioned it earlier. It's the 87th edition of the Shrine Bowl. I mean, guys like Sonny Jurgensen have played in this very bowl. So you can take a look at the list of alumni, and it's a given that this is just big. I mean, guys, you guys can speak to this. Your players, this is a goal that they set every year. In addition to, I want to play college football, I want success in all of the other ways, I want to play in the Shrine Bowl. It's something that players prioritize throughout their careers. So if nothing else, I think you're going to see some players who are A, excited for the honor, and B, fired up to be there because it's a huge moment for them. And that alone should make it must-see TV.
I know I can't wait for December 16th to get here, and I also know that I'm very excited that Bahakel Sports gets to be a part of this historic bowl game, and the fact that we'll be your home to watch it is awesome. So that is it, guys. My thanks to both coaches and Derek Vaught for their time today. You guys, by the way, the jackets are awesome. Yeah, love the jackets. We had to mention that. Hey, we want to thank our local sponsor, Scott Clark Toyota, for supporting the selection show today. Remember, the game airs on WCCB's MeTV Charlotte on December 16th. The pregame show starts at 12:30. The game itself starts at 1 o'clock, and you can buy your advance tickets. They go on sale after 5 p.m. today. You can buy them at the ShrineBowlOfTheCarolinas.com. But until then, stick with Bahakel Sports for all your high school coverage, including game on tomorrow at 7 o'clock, the Blitz Friday night at 11. Until then, have a great day.